Hey everyone, this is Deanna, doTERRA Blue Diamond. I am here for our Sunday Night Live Essential Oils Are Not Magic Beans. And we're going to be talking tonight about sleep. We're about 60 seconds early just to give everyone a chance to find us on Facebook. And then we will delve in here in about 60 seconds. So if you're watching the replay, we are stalling until it's actually 9 o'clock Eastern Time. Meanwhile, I will tell you that we also do an oil a day, a very short video, about 5 minutes long, every weekday, Monday through Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time at the same location, which is facebook.com/oil shares. And you'll learn really cool things about a bunch of different essential oils, one at a time. And it's been, I think, pretty good so far. We've been doing it since the beginning of January. Lots of great feedback. So I hope that you will tune in for some of those. If you ever don't have the ability to watch it live, the replays are available. So just visit the Facebook public page, Oil Shares, and you can go back and watch all these replay videos. Okay? Sometimes it's more fun to watch it live just because of all the interaction. Hey Amanda, how are you? I would love it if you guys would tell people that you're watching this video. There's a place that you can do that at the bottom of your screen. And all of these people that are not watching the Steelers game, what is wrong with you if you're not watching the Steelers game? Oh wait, I'm not supposed to say that. I am going to watch the Steelers game, so rule number one, no one talks about the Steelers game on this Facebook Live, or I will have to find you and have you murdered. There's not an oil for that either, so I'm going to go catch up and watch it shortly, so no football on this. This is only oils. Hey Aviance. We are great. We are ready to put the little guy in bed and watch some football very, very shortly. All right, let's go. Let's dive in so we can go see Big Ben. All right. If you don't know what I'm talking about, bless your heart. Okay, so essential oils are not magic beans, but they do help with restful sleep. And so let me explain what I mean. If you stay up all night binge watching Netflix and eating Funyuns, there's not an essential oil that can make up for the lack of lost sleep. Okay, so you do need to do some basic maintenance on yourself, like, you know, going to bed at a reasonable hour, trying to sleep 7-8 hours a night or so, if you're an adult. You need to eat healthy and, you know, maybe don't sleep with, you know, punk rock blasting in your room. Make sure your room's at a good temperature. Make sure you have a comfy mattress. Lots of things you can do to make sure that you're getting good sleep, and essential oils can help with all the rest of the stuff. And so what I have found is when people are new to essential oils, they want to know what the magic bean oil is for sleep. They want an oil that they're going to put it on, it's going to solve all of their sleep problems. And, you know, a lot of times I will share an oil with somebody called lavender. Lavender is very calming for, I would say, 75% of people. And I would say you could take a little on the tip of your finger, put it on the outer part of your ear, not inside your ear, or you'll be sad. You could put a little bit on the back of your neck, maybe a drop on your pillow, even the bottoms of your feet, all good places. And for the majority of people, that will probably help calm you into a sense of relaxation and get you ready for a good night's sleep. For myself, I tend to have a lot more vivid dreams and restlessness when I use things that are, for most people, are calming, like lavender, Roman chamomile, Serenity blend. And so I kind of steer away from those. And here's why. So it helps to know why you're having the issue that you're having. It's like when people tell me, hey Heidi. It's like people don't say, hey Heidi to me. I'm not Heidi. But when people say to me, you know, I have a headache, what's the headache oil? It's kind of similar because we get headaches for different reasons. Sometimes we get headaches because we're not drinking enough water. We get headaches because our blood sugar's moving all around crazy, or maybe our heart rate. Maybe we're getting headaches because of sinus issues or tension, muscle tension. So there's so many reasons why. So without knowing why, sometimes we can't find that like magic oil that is like our sleep oil. I feel like everybody has something different when it comes to headaches and sleep, and then a happy oil. We all have a different headache oil, happy oil, and sleep oil. And you have to be a detective and find out what it is. You know how to do that? Get yourself a basic oil kit. Get some basic oils in your home so you can play with them and see what they do. Try them out. Do a test drive. There's never been a wasted essential oil except for the one that you spilled on the counter that you didn't roll yourself in. That's the only wasted oil. If you put an essential oil on yourself, it is going to do good things in your body. It's going to raise your vibration. It's going to help your cells talk to each other, which you want your cells to do. If you don't have cells that are talking to each other, it's a little thing we like to call death. And once again, there's not an oil for that, which we kind of mentioned that earlier. So you do want to just use the oils, put them on, play with them, test them out. Make sure that you come to some of these lives. Make sure if you're part of my amazing essential oil support team that you come to no football, Heather. No football talk on this. I got to keep all football out of my zone here so I can focus, so I can, I got to go back and watch the game from the beginning. So no spoilers or you will die. Okay, sorry folks. Back to what I was saying. So you do want to play around with the oils and see what they do until you figure out what works best for you. That is how you learn. A lot of people will say, oh, I can't sleep, so I'm going to buy lavender, and that's all. And then they find out they're not sleeping because they're clenching their jaw or they're snoring, and lavender's great, but it's probably not what you need. So get some basic oils in your home and start using them for stuff. We have Monday night calls, like tomorrow night we have for those that are wholesale members of the Oil Shares team, we have something called a share-a-thon where you'll just hear like a bunch of people telling their success stories about why the oils are working for them for all kinds of different stuff and all kinds of different oils that you probably haven't thought of and ways to use them you haven't thought of. So you're going to learn a lot from your community. It's not like you just buy something off a shelf and you figure it out for yourself. If you join our team with a starter kit, you'll have oils in your home, so you'll be prepared. And you have this amazing community of thousands and thousands of people that can help support you and tell you what works for them, okay? So that's what you need to do, and that's what we're going to help you do. Stay tuned all the way to the end because I'm going to tell you how you can get, actually, you could still get today $193 in free oils if we do it before midnight. And otherwise, I can get you $100 in free oils, so make sure you stick around to the very end to hear all of the good news. Now, I'm going to give away an oil. I'm going to give away a little thing I like to call cedarwood. It's one of my favorite sleep oils. And here's who's going to get it. If you will comment below and tell me why you think you're having trouble sleeping. So maybe you're a snorer, maybe you have restless legs, maybe your heart pounds really fast, maybe your brain won't shut up. Tell me why, and I will randomly, through random.org, choose a winner of a bottle of cedarwood, okay? Another way to get an entry is to be a first-time guest. If you're not a wholesale member of my doTERRA team or any other doTERRA team, okay, and I will find out if you are, so don't try to subvert the system. But tell me, hey, I am a guest and I was invited by, and tell me that person's name, and that will also get you an entry. So you can enter twice if you're a guest. And you could win cedarwood. Okay, so let's delve in. So we talked about lavender being like the basic calming oil. There's another really amazing one called Serenity, which has a lot of the calming oils in it. It's called the Calming or Restful blend. And this one's got some Roman chamomile in it. The newest version, ooh, it smells kind of sweet and candy-ish right now. And you'll find that oils smell different to you different times. It's just because your body chemistry is constantly changing and the oils are changing because the weather changes and it's a plant. It shouldn't smell exactly the same all the time, or guess what? It's probably created in a lab, and that means it's not doTERRA. So be ready for it to smell slightly different at different times. And there's, what else is in here? Ylang ylang, which is a really calming oil. That's in here. Sandalwood. So there's lots of stuff in here that can help with calming. And again, this is not a sleep oil that I like to use personally, and I find that people who are tend to describe themselves as being like kind of having trouble sitting still, hyperactive, or they describe themselves as a very empathic personality, meaning that they sort of soak up everyone else's emotions and feelings. Those folks tend to struggle with oils like lavender, Serenity, even vetiver at night. So those may not be some of the best ones for us. I know that only my husband in our family seems to do well with lavender. So my little 2.5-year-old, not so much, and not for me. Okay, so I'm glad to see some of you guys starting to share some reasons why you're having trouble sleeping, and I'll try to get to some of these, okay? I can't get to all of them, and I'm not going to get to any extra tonight after the video, but maybe tomorrow, because I got football to watch, okay? So before I go any further, I want to mention that doTERRA just came out with a Serenity soft gel that you take by mouth. They recommend taking 1 or 2, probably just depending on your size. and maybe take it like 30 minutes before bed. And there was actually a clinical study done on this, and they found that especially the people that had the most difficulty sleeping saw the most improvement with Serenity soft gels. So maybe check those out. It can also be used in conjunction with the Serenity oil. So you may want to put a couple drops, maybe 3-4 drops of Serenity in your diffuser, and then take a couple of these babies before bed, and then just let me know how it goes, okay? I mean, it doesn't work for everybody, but that is definitely something worth trying. All right, another oil that you may not know about that's kind of new, I don't even know if it's in here, yeah, is spikenard. Spikenard is a really good sleep oil as well. It smells kind of funky, so maybe don't put it in your diffuser, maybe don't put it up by your face, but perhaps on the bottom of your big toe, which is kind of a reflex point for your brain, would be a good place to put it, just so you don't smell that like weird soury type smell. It's kind of has to grow on you. I sort of like it now, but most people are just like, what in the world? So maybe don't put it somewhere you're going to smell it, but this could be a really good option for you. And then of course Roman chamomile, which is back in stock. Hallelujah. It's in a little beautiful 5 milliliter bottles, what it comes in. This is great for other stuff like nerves and stuff too. So maybe if you have nerve discomfort and things, or just you're edgy and you know, you can't calm down and you have a lot of stress going on, this might be a good one anyway for you. And then another one that you may not realize is good for sleep is marjoram. Marjoram is a really calming oil and also good for the nerves. So it also helps if you have like muscle pain and tightness. It can help relax that, which is something that could keep you awake. So that's another reason. So if you've tried a couple oils and they're not working, don't give up. There's so many things. So let's dive in to a couple of reasons why people may not sleep, okay? What about excessive dreaming? Are you one of these people that you go to bed and you have like Willy Wonka type, like intense, colorful dreams? I mean, I'm kind of like that with certain oils especially. So if you struggle with that and you really don't feel like you're getting rest because you're, you know, trying to save the chocolate factory instead of sleeping, a couple oils that you might want to try would be clary sage. This one you want to avoid if you're pregnant until you're full term, but otherwise clary sage is really good, and it's great for helping to support balanced hormones as well. So it's like a 2-for-1 special. So clary sage would be good, and again, putting it on in all the usual places we talked about. You know, like that bone behind your ear, on the outer part of your ear, your chest, the back of your neck, your feet, your pillow, your diffuser. There's really no wrong way. Just get it on you or in you somehow. Another one would be juniper berry. And juniper berry is not just good for excessive dreams, but it's also good for nightmares and night terrors. And I found that this worked really well with my son, especially if you guys have ever read that book, I can't think what it's called. It's about leaps that happen, like developmental leaps that happen to babies before they're 2. And it seemed like during those times he would have nightmares and wake up crying in the middle of the night. And we would diffuse juniper berry, put it in the diffuser, and that seemed to work really, really well. So if you have a fear of the dark or a fear of going to sleep, that's a real thing. I don't ever have a fear of going to sleep. I want to be asleep. So, but if you have any of those, juniper berry might be a good one. Another one would be balance. Balance is a grounding blend. It helps you to feel safe and rooted. So that can be good, especially if you are dealing with somebody who's had some trauma or something like that. They might just need a little to feel kind of safe and secure. So balance would be good. Another one, if they're feeling unsafe in their environment, would be the protective blend, which is On Guard. So you might think of that as like a germ thing, but it's a protective blend and it helps protect you emotionally too and make you feel safe. I had a really, really bad incident a couple of years ago when I lived in Florida. It got down to really, really cold one night, like 13 degrees. And I guess this cockroach just decided like, ooh, it's nice and warm in the house. And he came in and he bit me on my back while I was sleeping. That is like, talk about needing juniper berry and having PTSD from about sleep forever. That was my experience. And I learned that On Guard was really good at repelling cockroaches and stuff. So I started spraying it all around my bed and like on the bed skirt and just everywhere before bed. And I must have done this for like a month. But I would feel like I would just feel safe. And I never thought about the fact that I was feeling safe because it just has that those protective type oils like cinnamon and clove in it that made me feel safe. So sometimes you just got to think outside the box. Let me give you a real quick recipe if you want to take a nice bath soak before bed. Do a 1/4 cup of Epsom salts, put 2 drops of geranium and 2 drops of lavender. Again, if that doesn't those aren't good smells for you, or if you're not a lavender person, you could maybe try petitgrain instead. That's got a completely different smell than lavender. I'm not a flower person myself. Or if you don't do well with those regular calming oils, maybe you could do frankincense or marjoram or something like that. But just do a nice soak in the tub with some Epsom salts. What about if you can't sleep because of a rapid heart rate? Sometimes I know that people can, when they lay down at night, it seems like your heart just won't stop pounding. Ylang ylang could be a good one. Personally, don't care for the smell of this one, so I would not want this anywhere near where I could smell it. But you know, obviously over the chest would be the best place for that. But there's also, you can also put it on the left foot or the left hand to help with the heart. So that's another option. A lot of you guys have said like worrying or mind chatter. And one of my favorites for that, because this is something I struggle with, is I like to use basil and bergamot together as friends in the diffuser. That seems to really help my brain and to help me to calm down and not worry and not think about everything I need to be doing. Another thing I started doing is I found these really cool sleep meditations that I listen to, and this guy like walks you through some deep breathing and meditations, and he does this thing where he says like everything that I still need to do tomorrow, like I'm not good at this, but something to the effect of you'll remember it tomorrow, so let it go now. And that has been really calming for me. That was recommended by my friend Harmony, and it has really helped along with using the oils. So again, oils are not magic beans, so there are other things that you can do to give yourself more success with your sleep. And doing some really good meditations are really helpful. And all meditations are. Guided meditations is just learning to breathe deeply and relax your body. And then a lot of times like a person with a really calming voice, this guy has sort of like an Aussie accent, which is fun. And they walk you through like nature and things like that. And to be honest with you, I don't get very far on my nature walk because I'm out really quick and I feel like I sleep really well. Jet lag is a reason why people don't sleep. So if you're traveling and you have jet lag, I learned, I think I shared it on another video recently, patchouli. I do not care for the smell of patchouli, but the place where this would be placed, the place where this would be put on your body, you're not going to smell it. And basically it is your perineum, and you can look that up later. We're not going to go into details, nor shall we give a demonstration. But this is a good place to put that to help you just kind of get in tune with the time that you're in. And that also helps for people who do shift work, and maybe they work like all kinds of crazy hours and they never know if it's like awake or sleep or whatever. Either one of those, patchouli is your friend for that. So we said mind chatter, basil. A couple other ones are cedarwood and rosemary. I don't think I would personally do rosemary. I mean, somebody else can try it and let me know, but rosemary is like, seems to be kind of alerting for me, just like the mints. So some of the mint oils are recommended for different sleep issues here. And I just feel like if I was doing mint, then I would be even more awake and more alert. So again, we're all different. Christine Hales, she's another blue diamond that's above us in our team, and she tells me that she sleeps like a baby when she uses peppermint. So again, this is why you get your own starter kit, get some oils, start adding to your collection and play with them. Find out what works for you. You'll have some great stories to share on the monthly share-a-thon call. Okay, nervous tension. Yes, I relate to this one. I resemble this remark. Douglas fir is my favorite for that. I find myself using that a lot when I just have a lot of nervous tension for various reasons. Maybe I'm out of my routine. I just got a lot going on. It kind of goes along a little bit with the mind chatter thing. Douglas fir, I will put it a lot of times on the bottom of my feet or in my diffuser. So that's a good one. Sandalwood, we know sandalwood's good for calming and for the brain. Vetiver, aroma touch. That might be one you might not have thought about, but it's really good for the nerves. So it's going to help kind of bring everything down and calm you down. What if you're like, this has not happened to me, but I know that it happens to my husband. What if you can't sleep because of cold extremities, like your hands and feet are just freezing cold and that wakes you up? You have to wear socks and slippers and everything else, 3,000 pounds of blankets to stay warm. Or maybe you don't feel cold, but your arms and legs and stuff go to sleep at night. They fall asleep and you're like getting those pins and needles. A couple oils for that would be cypress and coriander, or even aroma touch. I know you've all been dying to know what the heck to do with coriander, so this would be one example that you could use coriander for. So maybe if you get that in your arms, maybe rub that in your arms or rub it into your calves before you go to bed. While we're on the subject of arms and legs, let's talk about twitching. Some of you guys have mentioned twitching or restless leg type things. Again, aroma touch. Aroma touch, when I was pregnant, I had that. I just felt like my legs had a whole mind of their own and they wouldn't stop moving. And so aroma touch. Past tense is another one. Past tense is in a roller, so that makes it really convenient to use. Aroma touch is the one for like circulation and nerves and stuff, so either one of these would be good. Again, during pregnancy, I use these a lot for like my sciatic nerve and just all the places that things start to hurt and go numb when you're pregnant. So that's really good. It also recommends spearmint. I've never tried that for that, so somebody can try it and report back. Teeth grinding. Who grinds their teeth at night? Ew. Not only is that frustrating for you, but the guy next to you or girl next to you in bed, that's really frustrating for them too. So you could do some frankincense and marjoram along the jawline. That would be a really good thing to do for teeth grinding. Snoring. Okay, so again, this is one that affects your sleep partner as well as you. It seems like it affects the sleep partner more, but it's affecting you because it is disrupting your sleep. It could be a sign that you have like sleep apnea or something like that. Which is really bad and can be really scary, and people have died from that, you know, so you want to get that checked out by a medical professional. But in the meantime, if you want to open your airways, obviously breathe. Breathe is going to be in all the basic kits, just like a lot of the ones we've talked about tonight, like frankincense and lavender and On Guard. So breathe is a good one to put in the diffuser. Douglas fir is also recommended for snoring. I did not know that. Eucalyptus, that makes sense. That's going to open up the airways. Even purify can be good. And that might be because it's just cleansing the air. I'm not exactly sure why that one's recommended. I have not personally had any experience with that. Let's see what else. Oh, I wanted to tell you that there was a study done in 2013 among ICU patients where they used lavender and Roman chamomile and neroli oil, and they found that they got much better results than anything else. The nursing staff just reported back that it really seemed to help calm patients. And you know, they're in the ICU for all various reasons, and it's very difficult to sleep in the hospital with all of that's going on. So that was just something that I read in one of the reference books I thought was interesting. Okay, who wants to know what... Okay, so there's lots of oils that will help calm you down and help you get to sleep, but what about staying asleep? What about like waking up at 3 in the morning and then you can't go back to sleep, or your kid that wakes up throughout the night and then wakes you up? What do you do about that? So I'm going to give you a recipe. Now, with doTERRA oils being as pure and potent as they are, and the fact that they're not fake oils or they're not watered down with junk, they're not created synthetically in a lab, a lot of the recipes you're going to find anywhere are going to use a lot of oil. So when you see a lot of drops of oil, you want to make that blend up in a container and then only use 1, 2, 3 drops of it. Okay, so you don't need to put all of this in your diffuser. This is particularly a diffuser blend for going to sleep and staying asleep. Okay, so here it goes. 1 drop each of cedarwood, patchouli, balance, vetiver, Roman chamomile. Okay, so you're going to do 1 drop of each of cedarwood, patchouli, balance, vetiver, and Roman chamomile. Then you're going to add to that 8 drops of serenity and 3 drops of wild orange. You're going to combine that. Maybe you could use one of your empty bottles for that. Just combine it in there and kind of swirl it up. Then you're going to use, 3, 4, 5 drops of that in your diffuser. And you could use that with your kid. You could use it with yourself just to see how that improves your sleep. So I would love to hear from somebody who wants to try that tonight. Let me know how that works. I thought that was a pretty cool thing. The other thing I wanted to mention is I kind of alluded to this earlier with my son when he was going through different developmental leaps and he was having sleep regressions. We started using the, trying to get my eyes on it. We started using the DDR Prime essential oil cellular complex, the liquid one, on his feet as well. Because basically during those times your brain is like remapping itself and like you're learning like brand new stuff and it can kind of rock your world and you can't really talk about it because you're an infant. And so I just learned that using DDR during those developmental leaps was really helpful and helped with his sleep, as well as doing the juniper berry in the diffuser. Now, in our last couple minutes, before I mention how to get all this free stuff, like you can get $193 in free oils tonight, and I will explain that, so don't leave. But I have to mention a couple things. doTERRA has a lot of amazing supplements, and people tell me all the time, like, I use the oils and I eat healthy, I don't need supplements. I promise you that is incorrect. You cannot eat healthy enough to get all that you need from our diet. We just can't anymore. And so we do need to supplement. And everything good that comes from plants does not come from the essential oils in the plant. There's other parts of the plants that are good for us. That's why I still have to eat collard greens and kale, because I still need some of the benefits from those plants. And so doTERRA has a lot of plant products in our supplements. And so I'm going to tell you a couple that have a big impact on sleep. So first of all, Terrazyme. If your food is sitting in there not digesting and you go to bed like that, your body's going to be working on digesting all night, and you are not going to have restful sleep. Okay? And so Terrazyme, especially if you eat late, or if you just tend to have digestive issues at night, then I would recommend popping 1 or 2 Terrazyme before bed. Now, I'm going to recommend that you do it like an hour before bed, because I know that a couple times when I've taken it right before bed, I've had to get up in like 30 minutes and use the bathroom, because it is very, it breaks stuff down, okay? And yeah, so we'll just leave that one there. So maybe an hour before bed, pop 1 or 2 of the Terrazyme. I use these with every meal anyway, so my body tends to naturally digest things like it's supposed to. But that's just a little tip. Another one, deep blue polyphenols. This does not have anything to do with essential oil. So you cannot put deep blue in a capsule, deep blue oil in a capsule, and think you're making these. This is an herbal capsule. And I've discovered quite by accident that if I take these before bed, it really helps with my sleep. And it might be because I was having some pain and discomfort that I didn't even realize. And so this is a good one for sleep for me. Also, the phytoestrogen complex. And this is for men, women, children, because we tend to have an excess of estrogen and it causes hormone imbalance. And when your hormones are out of whack, it can affect your sleep cycles. And so having healthy, balanced hormones, so this and using Clary Calm every day, especially for women and girls, over the lower abdomen, below the belly button, these 2 things are going to help. Taking frankincense, which is in all the basic kits too, taking this under the tongue twice a day, which I'm going to do right now. It has an effect on the pineal gland, which has to do with your sleep cycles. And so taking it under the tongue is a real good way for it to get quickly into the brain. So I make this one of my daily health habits so that I have healthy hormones and healthy sleep patterns. The bone nutrient complex. This contains things like calcium, magnesium that will help with restful sleep. It will help keep your it'll help with some of that restless leg issues. It can help with hormone balance. There's a lot of ingredients in here that do help with hormone balance as well. And then the Mac Daddy of all, which I'm missing one. There's 3 containers and I'm missing one. I don't know where it is. But the Lifelong Vitality Pack. I noticed that if I go a couple of days without taking my daily Lifelong Vitality Pack, that I don't sleep as well. I kind of wake up throughout the night, tossing and turning, and I tend to stay up too late and not fall asleep at a normal hour. It just really throws me off. So that's a habit that I cannot afford to be without. So I do that every day to have restful sleep and normal sleep patterns. Okay? So you're like, okay, I understand. You spoke to me where I live, and I know I need to sleep. Well, I hope you do know that you need to sleep, because that is what's causing a lot of health issues like obesity and high blood pressure issues from not sleeping, and hormone imbalances, and people having a lack of empathy, and road rage, and accidents on the road, and accidents at work, and stress, and headaches, and just digestive issues. And all this stuff has a lot to do with sleep. We're supposed to sleep and get rest. And so this can all play into that. And so you're thinking like, yeah, I need to get some stuff. Where do I start? Okay, so I would recommend that you ask the person who invited you to watch this video. If it's me, contact me. If it's somebody else, then say, hey, I watched the video you told me to go watch, and what's with these starter kits? You want to get a starter kit so you can get the oils in your home. There's going to be one for every size family and every size budget, so start where you can, okay? If you choose a starter kit and you do it tonight, like you get the paperwork filled out and you get it entered in tonight, if your enroller can't help you, I will help you. I'll even take a further break from football to help you, because this is way more important than football. This is your health and your sleep. So If you want to get started tonight, this is the last day that you can get a free bottle of frankincense, which retails at $93, okay? And that is if you choose a starter kit that is worth 200 PV. So when you look at the starter kit, and if somebody on here can share that link to find the starter kits, that would be super helpful, so that other people can scroll through and see that. But if you look at the different starter kits, you'll see that there's a price and a PV. Look for one that's 200 PV or more. Pardon me. Gosh. And then you will get free frankincense with that, as long as we enter your enrollment tonight before midnight, okay? Now, anybody who enrolls with any kit, any of the starter kits, because they're all at least 100 PV or more, if you enroll tonight and then you do a 100 PV order in February, which we will teach you how to do, you will get $100 in free oils as soon as you place that second order. So it's like, buy 100, do another 100 next month, get 100 free. And that is amazing. So if you have the opportunity to get both promos, this is like both promos have collided upon one another, and you can do frankincense and 100 PV free if your kit is 200 PV or more, and if your enrollment kit is entered tonight. So Wendy Ober has put a link here to the enrollment kits. Go check them out, find the one you want, and then contact me or the person who invited you and say, hey, I need to get set up tonight so I don't miss out on the free frankincense, because it's an expensive oil and you're probably going to get one in your starter kit and then you'll get one free. So you will be set up for several months of frankincense, okay? Depending on the size of your family. So again, get a starter kit, you get a free membership, which entitles you to 25% off of all the retail prices from doTERRA. You get to participate in our rewards program, which is amazing. The first 18 months I was in doTERRA, I earned $2,600 in free oils, and I was the only one in my home using the products. So that rewards program is fantastic, and if you participate in that, you'll get free shipping rewards and 10 to 30% back in everything you purchase, plus deeper discounts on the products than even the 25% that everyone gets. So you definitely want to use the rewards program. The other cool thing is that if you decide to join with somebody who's part of the Oil Shares team, that's my team, that's nationwide and worldwide. If you join on our team, we have a free gift for you, and I don't know where it is. Somewhere around here. Oh, we have a couple different ones. This is one example of an essential oil reference book. It's a really nice hardback book that will tell you how to use your oils. You'll find lots of recipes like the one I shared for your diffuser. You'll find that in here. So that is your enroller. We'll purchase that for you. That does not come from doTERRA, and that is an Oil Shares team perk. That's what we do. Somebody bought us the book, and so we pay it forward and get them the book. You also have a community of thousands and thousands of people that you can plug into. We'll teach you how to use your oils. We'll answer your questions. We'll tell you some experiences we had. We have a secret Facebook group you can join where you can ask your questions. We have this public page that you're actually on right now. And we have phone calls. The first and third Mondays of the month, you can tune in if you're a member of our team, and you can learn tons about your oils and your membership and how to get the most out of all of that. Plus, you probably have some other calls or other Facebook groups that you can join depending on the other little team within the team that you're part of. So we just love to build community and make sure that you know how to use your oils and that you feel supported as you begin to learn. This is new to you probably, and we're all learning together. So you'll be able to lean on that community as you start these new daily health habits. If you have any questions or comments, please share them below. I'll try to get back to you. But please, if you have the opportunity to get started tonight, contact the person that invited you and make sure that you take advantage of those promos. The other promo for 100 PV is available all month. So there's no rush other than the fact that you're missing out on using these oils right now if you wait. So get your hands on a starter kit and get started. And we'll be happy to be here with you along the journey. We'll see you back here next Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern, and weekdays at 1 p.m. Eastern for an oil a day. Much shorter videos, but you'll learn a little bit about a different oil every single day. So I will see you back here either tomorrow or next Sunday. Thanks for spending tonight with me, and go Steelers. See you later.